But that's not all. As the investigation in the Saif Ali Khan attack case continues, the judicial custody of the accused has been extended till 29th of January. It has been 7 days. Mind you, it's been over a week now since the attack happened on the actor, but several questions remain unanswered. CNN News 18, in fact, accessed the medical report of Saif Ali Khan from Leelavati Hospital, and let me quote what it says. It says that Saif Ali Khan was stabbed, but 5 times. Earlier, remember, it was being said that he was stabbed 6 times. Saif was stabbed in the back, his wrist, and even his neck. Saif also was stabbed in the shoulder and elbow. These injuries ranged from 0.5 centimeters to 15 centimeters in size. Saif Ali Khan was also admitted by his friend and manager Afzal Zaidi. That's a new claim that has now surfaced, because so far reports were indicating that he was accompanied by his 2 sons, Ibrahim and Taimur. Now, Saif was brought to the hospital at 4:11 a.m. Now, compare this to what the doctors told us last week. The doctors had claimed that Saif was brought to the hospital by his son, Taimur. Now, the medical report, in fact, goes on to indicate that he was brought in by his friend and manager, Afzal Zaidi. Doctors' claim is that Saif was brought to the hospital around 2 a.m. The medical report now says that Saif was brought to the hospital at 4:11 a.m. So over 100-minute gap. That has still not been explained. What was being done to the actor in this period of over 100 minutes between the attack and his admission? The doctors have claimed that Saif Ali Khan suffered 6 incised wounds. That now the medical report is going on to say that he was stabbed 5 times and not 6. It's not just the medical report that has raised several questions. Even Saif Ali Khan's statement has added a new twister. He says that he was with Kareena Kapoor Khan in their room on the 12th floor. Remember, his children were on the 11th floor. And only when they heard the noise from the 11th floor between 2:30 a.m. and 2:40 a.m. is when he rushed to the 11th floor. Earlier, doctors had said that he was brought to the hospital around that time. So there's this discrepancy about the timeline as well. The caretaker, an unknown man seen near Jay's room and seeing the knife in the man's hand, that is when Saif Ali Khan jumped at him. Saif caught hold of the attacker, but was, of course, the attacker retaliated, and so Saif was attacked. Then the question emerges, how did the attacker even escape? CNN News 18 spoke to the father of the attacker, who has alleged that his son has been falsely implicated in this case. He claims that the photograph in question does not resemble his son from any angle. That's the question of the apprehended accused. Now, fans across the entire country are breathing a sigh of relief that Saif Ali Khan is hale and hearty. He's back home. Even we are extremely elated about his recovery. But there are answers that, in fact, there are questions that remain unanswered, and there are more questions, in fact, than answers at the moment. And so what happened on the night of January 16 and what is now being shared by the authorities, that's something we'll be deep diving into in just a bit.
Face is not matching, but the face structure is totally different from the present.
আপনি কেন বলছেন যে ও আপনার ছেলে না?
আমি বললাম কেন যে ওর বয়স হচ্ছে 30। ও দীর্ঘ 30 বছরে।
All right, so as far as the mystery surrounding Saif Ali Khan's attack is deepening now, and the question we are posing to our guests tonight, are there more questions than answers? Let me introduce our esteemed panelists. I'm joined in by Vishwas Pathak, the spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party, Mahesh Chavan, who's a spokesperson for the NCP-SP, and Mr. Shashikant, who's a former IPS officer. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in. Mr. Shashikant, various new details have now emerged through the medical report. I want to ask you, have you personally observed any inconsistencies? Because all these 8 days, we've only been trying to probe into all these gaps in the investigation so far.
Well, ma'am, you were talking about the inconsistency that I found. I feel that my professional view is that it's all inconsistent. Right from the first thing, when this particular guy was arrested and his picture on the CCTV, and the guy who has been later on picked up from wherever, Prabha Devi, or some people say that he was picked up somewhere in Chhattisgarh. Then this kind of injuries that came up. With that kind of injury, I have been a police officer for almost 40 years. I have never seen a person who has been injured so badly and who can walk absolutely well without any problems. And well, you talked of inconsistencies. I'll say this is full of holes. Water won't remain there. What is needed is, I think, a de novo investigation into the case. And understand that the earlier person who was investigating has been removed. But now there should be a fresh investigation into it, because there are so many questions. There are questions and no answers. And this is creating lots of doubts and questions in the minds of ordinary people like me. So it's about time that the entire thing comes out, they come clean, whether it is Saif or whether it's police, whether it's doctors, everybody. Thank you, ma'am.
Vishwas Pathak, many are saying that because the lawlessness in Maharashtra, particularly in Mumbai, was being questioned and how celebrities are being targeted, that the state government is now trying to give an entire spin to this entire investigation, and hence there was this burgeoning need to come up with the accused and arrest him ASAP, and so the Mumbai police is not even sure of the person who's been arrested.
See, we are a democratic country, and in democratic country, everybody has got right to argue, counter-argue, whatever they want, including media trial. Everything is justified. As far as this case is concerned, this accused has already been booked. He is behind the bar, and it is proved that he is a foreign national, Bangladeshi immigrant, and his driving license is also confiscated. So that is also proved.
Right.
The person on whom attack was made, he is also recovered, he is also at home. Now, police of Mumbai is considered to be next to Scotland police. They are professional, they
And
know
that's
their
why
job,
they
and they are doing their job.
I agree with you,
And
which is why we were all surprised that 3 arrests had been
Let
made.
me complete. Let me
one
complete.
in
Let
Madhya
me complete.
Pradesh,
I
Chhattisgarh,
appreciate
and
media
then
trial.
this one in Thane.
I appreciate media trial, but let me complete. See, this police, Mumbai police, is headed by a Home Minister who is none other than Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, his Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Same police have caught this culprit within 72 hours. Now, matter is going on, matter is sub judice. With this media trial, I don't think police department can keep on arguing, counter-arguing. They are doing their job.
All right.
Everything will
Mahesh
be
Chavan,
charge
I
sheeted,
want to bring
and
you
due course
in
of
on
action
this.
will be taken.
3 arrests made. The timeline is not adding up. The medical report and the initial claims being made by the doctor still not adding up. Nobody knows where was Saif's manager, who has in fact now been named by Saif himself in the statement, because the doctors never named him. There are certainly these gaps which have surfaced. And what's more surprising is that these 3 arrests were made by the Mumbai police, and there has been a transfer of the investigating officer. I'm sure many would say that it is part of, this is something which is a healthy practice. It is done if the authorities are not happy with the work of the investigating officer, but it also indicates a certain kind of internal conflict and internal intervention. Why this intervention?
Yes, Akanksha, definitely a lot of questions are raised. A lot of discrepancies seem to be there. Now, see, on the one hand, they are saying that the police formed 35 teams and they grabbed the accused in 3 days. And on the other hand, they are, as you said, that they have to change the investigating officer for what? This is the question. Secondly, one question to BJP in this case is, we have no doubt that Mumbai police is efficient, no doubt about it. They are one of the best in the world. But in this case, if you see, if they have formed 35 teams and grabbed the accused in 3 days, had it been a common man, would they have formed the 35 teams? Had the officer like Daya Nayak been a part of the investigative team?
Fair enough.
Why? Yeah, so this is what my
And
question is for the BJP.
Actually, that's a fair question, because ever since even the opposition parties, Mahesh, have been raising this issue of how celebrities are being targeted. But are we forgetting the Badlapur incident? Are we forgetting the rape case at Bhopdev Ghat? Are we forgetting that there are the common man also which is being targeted in Maharashtra, whether it is the Sarpanch in one of the districts in
Santosh
Maharashtra?
Deshmukh.
Vishwas, I want to bring you in. Vishwas, can you hear me?
See, all these incidents have happened. I am not denying that. But the competence of police lies if they can book the culprit. In all the cases, culprits have been booked, action has been taken, and due course is happening. I want to ask Mr. Tapase, the spokesperson of NCP, in 2.5 years' time, during daytime, sadhus were burned and culprits were not booked. So, such instances might happen, but the important point is that whether police can book those culprits well within time. And under the leadership of Mr. Devendra Fadnavis as the Home Minister, we are booking culprits immediately and taking
Vishwas
strong action also.
I think there is
As far as
also
this
this underlying concern that are you so burdened by the expectation to perform or to make an arrest on time that you have ended up arresting the wrong person, because that's what his father is also claiming. The CCTV footage, as we all have seen that grab, is not matching up to the face of the apprehended accused.
In any investigation, when you want to reach to the right person, you have to interrogate 100 people. It is a very common thing. See, media trial cannot understand the job of police.
No, we are not talking about
Police
the
know
media
their
trial
job
right now. We are talking
unless
about
and
this
until
man
they
whose
interrogate
face,
100 people.
Shariful Islam, this 30-year-old man, I'm sure he is a Bangladeshi illegal immigrant, and that has been proven, and he needs to be put on trial for that. But is he the one who's committed the crime? That is the moot question right now. And you're talking about a media trial. What about the trial that he's going through?
That police will define.
Mr. Shashikant, all right.
Police will conclude. It cannot happen through media trial. It is very ridiculous.
Mr.
Let police
Shashikant,
do their
I want
job.
to ask you,
The culprit is
since
Everybody is
our
there.
honorable BJP
Investigation is going
spokesperson over here is talking about the media trial and investigations going on, but as an experienced and a veteran from the industry, I want to ask you, for a Mumbai police which is being at the moment compared to the Scotland Yard, is it not rather strange that they have not thought it to be incumbent upon them to address a press conference? Because every time we see the accused is nabbed, whether in Delhi or Mumbai or in Uttar Pradesh, quickly there's a press conference. There's always this need to go and tom-tom and take credit, and rightly so. But I've not heard from the Mumbai police. They've in fact been extremely tight-lipped, which is what makes it so strange. Mr. Shashikant.
Yeah, there's some problem, I think, with the listening thing. Yes, I'll say that this is about the time. I will not go into the past. Now, there's so much of confusion about this case that it is about time that the Bombay police allays the confusion. They come out very clear on the thing, what exactly had happened and how the investigation had progressed, how this particular person was arrested. Like I said, as on date, it appears that the entire investigation is like a pot, which is there's nothing but holes all around. So many theories, media trial, this and that. There's utter confusion. And I know I worked with Bombay Police. Bombay Police is one of the best in the country. So I wonder why the Bombay Police is not trying to come out in open and try to remove these doubts and fears and everything, apprehensions, and retain their that kind of image that.
So,
is
Mr. Shashikant,
everywhere
you do
around the
agree
world.
that Mr. Shashikant, that the Mumbai police has been extraordinarily silent, and they've been, in fact, their silence is sort of deafening.
Yes, not only silence, but it appears that the
Shashikant,
investigation
please
has been
tell
botched
me
up.
a small question to Mr. Shashikant.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I say that yes, Bombay police should have
Small
come
question
out
to
because
Mr.
it is,
Shashikant.
yeah.
Vishwas Pathak, please go ahead.
No, I want to ask Mr. Shashikant, with due respect, he is from Bombay Police only or Maharashtra Police. In which case, Bombay Police came out and explained everything on television. This is altogether new practice and new expectation. Bombay Police has been always known to maintain secrecy, take swift action, and book the culprit. Tell me
in
some
the Bombay-
instances where Bombay Police have come out and
Sir, in the Bombay,
took press conference.
Sir, in the Bombay blast cases, I was associating with Bombay police. I have worked with Bombay police. I have got high regards. That's why I said that it is the best force, one of the best forces in the country. But here we are also talking about people's perception. Like I believe, I have got utmost faith in Bombay police. But now with this kinds of doubts coming up, media trial coming up, sometimes it appears that is it correct? Because our work, we police guys who work basically, we don't just jump onto the conclusion. We collect facts. And in such a high profile case, then we go out and tell people, hey man, the police is doing good. This is the basic investigation. These facts have come up, and this is going to be a further line of action. That is what restores the faith of people in any police system. And this is where Bombay police has been failing consistently. Thank you.
All right. I want to bring Mr. Chavan in. Mr. Chavan, especially when it comes to the opposition being attacked right now with regards to this case, I want to bring in what Nitesh Rane had to say. He's gone on to question how there's only been selective brouhaha, especially when it comes to attacks targeting Muslim actors, whether it is the firing outside Salman Khan's residence or this attack at Saif Ali or Shah Rukh Khan's son, and that the likes of the Congress or even the NCP SP are more concerned about what's happening, say, to a Nawab Malik.
Okay, see, when they want to divert the topic, such leaders like Nitish Rane, they come in and they give statements. They try to make it Bangladeshi national or Hindu or Muslim, whatnot. Now, we have been raising the law and order situation issues from last many days. For example, for that matter, may be it, firing on Salman Khan's house, or Baba Siddiqui's murder, or Shiv Sena UBT leader Abhishek Gosalkar murder. He was not a Muslim. NCP Ajit Pawar leader Sachin Kurmi's murder. He was not a Muslim. Then BJP's Ganpat Gaikwad firing on Shinde Sena's Mahesh Gaikwad, that too inside the police station. He was not a Muslim. Badlapur molestation case, that victim was not a Muslim. And the accused, encounter of that accused. You know what the High Court has said now in last 2 days about the encounter. So Sarpanch, for that matter, what you mentioned just now is about Sarpanch Santosh Deshmukh of Bid.
Yes,
He's murdered. Then hit and run cases in Pune and Mumbai. So all these cases are to do with Muslims. This is what the BJP is trying to say.
I'm going to ask that I'm going to in fact pose that to Vishwas Pathak as well. Mr. Pathak, how do you respond to that?
So where is the question of Hindu or Muslim? Whosoever is culprit, he has to be booked.
No, but that
Law
is what
has to take
Nitesh
its own
Rane was
course.
saying.
This is
That
what
is
we are
what
doing.
Nitesh Rane was saying, that so far Bangladeshi refugees were limited to crossings on the road. Now they are entering the homes of these celebrities, and Goody entered the house of Saif, and such garbage should be taken out of the country. How can you make such remarks?
See, Bangladeshis, immigrants, illegal immigrants is a different issue.
Right.
As far as culprit is concerned, he has no religion, no caste.
True.
Police will take its own course. They will book the culprit and take action.
But your own ally partners, member Mr. Sanjay Nirupam himself has questioned the condition of the actor, that Sanjay Nirupam was the one who brought it first to the forefront, that how is Saif Ali...
Again I am reiterating.
So are you also saying that you
Again-
do not
again I am
agree with
reiterating, it is
members
a-
of your own party or members of your own ally partners from the Mahayuti? Say Sanjay Nirupam was the first one to say.
All I am saying,
He was the one who highlighted
All
that
I'm
3
saying, you are a
arrests were
democratic
made
country.
in separate... No, it's not about being democratic. Then by that merit, even a media trial is democratic enough. Then don't attack media for running a trial. There are
so I
questions
respect that.
that
I respect
are
that.
unanswered.
I respect the media
There are
trial also.
questions that
But
are
police
unanswered. He's
force
a
is not
celebrity.
obliged.
There
Obliged
are
to know
fans
what
who want
media
to
trial
know what
says.
happened exactly
Police are
on the night of
professional people.
16
They
January.
will take their own action.
But Mr.
I'm
Vishwas
saying
Pathak,
I
I want to
respect all
ask,
democratic
how do you
viewpoints.
respond
But
when
police is a
Sanjay...
professional body.
No, so
They
do
will
you agree with what Sanjay Nirupam is saying? That there are facts which are not adding up?
I will fully back up police. I have full faith in police. If there are 100 and odd kind of opinions, ultimately we have to rely on official channel, that is Mumbai Police, headed by Home Minister, who is Chief Minister, and anybody else can keep on talking. Nobody can stop that. It's a democratic country.
All right, Mr. Shashikant, I'd like to take your closing thoughts. As somebody who's been a former IPS officer, how do you think the trajectory of this investigation should now move forward, and what will finally lay all suspicions to rest as far as all these discrepancies are concerned?
Look, sooner or later, the police forces always they reach a right conclusion, they nab the right persons. But in the meantime, what happens, like it is happening in this case of Bombay Police, unfortunately, their wonderful image, there is a big question mark. Some people are raising a big question mark in front of their undoubted, I think that's the best police force. There cannot be any doubt about that. But now people are raising questions. It is not about the time that we try to salvage the reputation of the Bombay Police.
No,
the
but
best
it's
police
not
force in
just
the
about
country.
the reputation of the Bombay Police.
Yes.
For once,
And-
I think the person who's also been arrested deserves to have the benefit of doubt if his father's claiming, and the image man who perhaps according to his father and the defense lawyer is being falsely implicated, something that the lawyer has vehemently maintained. He's also raised certain questions which are not adding up. So,
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Shashikant, I want to know from you, do you not think that that man also deserves the benefit of doubt?
Certainly, everyone deserves benefit doubt till such time it's not true. That's why I say that it is about time. If this kind of theories go on, this person will, if he is the real culprit, he might get acquitted.
All right.
It's
I'm
about
sure when the
if-
time arrives, the Mumbai police will also share those details of the investigation. And I do hope, sincerely hope, that that happens as soon as possible. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in and for so patiently participating in this discussion. And with that, it's a quick wrap from my end. Thank you so much for watching The Heart.